still is not part of this elite class system that likes to promote the garbage that you see on your newsstands. So what's next to her? Oh, look at Kobe Bryant. A tear trickles down his eye as he has to admit that he cheated on his wife. Even though she's rocking like a $2 million ring, and we all knew he was going to cheat. Really? Basketball players cheat on their wives? Golf players cheat on their wives? Millionaire sports stars cheat on? I can't believe it. I got 2 words for you, folks. Steve Garvey, okay? There's a guy that went to town, okay, and he was open about it. Who cares? And then right under Kobe Bryant is Spitzer. Yeah, again, Spitzer paid for a hooker? You mean people in Washington, D.C. get prostitutes? I can't believe it. I thought that industry was dead. Laugh out loud. We're going to go out after the back cover after this and keep going with your calls. The InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, InfoWars.com.
When you can't really function, you're so full of fear. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero.
You see, folks, there's nothing wrong with getting your hands dirty, with getting out there and trying to make a difference. And whether that difference be in the geopolitical arena or in your own family, or even in your own workplace, bring the truth everywhere you go. That doesn't mean that you need to have your own radio show or make your own films or pass out flyers or pass out DVDs. There are so many things that you can do outside of that. You can call your congressman. You can run for state senate. You can become a member of the PTA. You can get involved in city council. There is so much out there for all of us to do if we want to take back our constitutional republic. All right, I want to cover the back cover of this People Scandals. We just went over Britney Spears, O.J. Simpson, Mel Gibson, Paris Horton. I'm sorry, did I say Horton? I meant Hilton. Oh. Martha Stewart, Kobe Bryant, and Elliot Spitzer. Now let's go over to the back. Again, not one scandal of substance. Show me the real scandals. These are the scandals that rocked America. Okay, we've got Lindsay Lohan, yet another hooker actress. What was the big scandal with Lindsay? Oh, a starlet drinks and does drugs. I can't believe it. But she was on the Disney Channel when she was younger. She drinks and does drugs. Oh, no. And then they've got Hugh Grant. Oh, again, Hugh Grant. Half of these are about prostitution, the oldest business in the book. They called it the oldest profession because it is, okay? Half of these are about prostitution. These are the scandals that rocked America. All right, so you get down, and to the left, it's Monica Lewinsky sleeping with Bill Clinton. Again, wow, men of power sleep around? That's the story that rocked America to its very core. And then right next to him is Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. Janet with her boobie coming out, and of course we all know that wasn't a what was it, a wardrobe misfunction or malfunction as well. It's a wardrobe malfunction. Really, the only scandal that should have come out of that is the fact that they said it was the most viewed moment in television history, and there's no way that they could have known that unless they were keeping tabs on everybody's DVR and TiVo units, which they said they weren't doing. That's the real scandal on Boobiegate. Because who cares? Oh my God, I was subject to a pierced nipple for 2 seconds. Oh, my children, they'll never be the same again. Come on. So now we're down to the last 5. I see Winona Ryder. That's a huge scandal. She stole some shoes. Wow, now when you shoplift and you take some shoes, that's one of the biggest scandals that rocks America. Let's keep going with these things. We got George Michael. Everybody remembers the George Michael bathroom scandal. So you're telling me that a rich, lavish gay man tried to have gay sex or pick a guy up in a bathroom? Wow, that's a shocker. Oh, wait, that's not a shocker, and that's not a scandal that rocked America. Again, it has no bearing on your everyday lives, no bearing on your paycheck, no bearing on your freedom, no bearing on anything other than mesmerizing you into this gelatinous gook they call entertainment, infotainment, if you will. So let's wrap up the last 3. I think it's model Aman. I don't know what her scandal is. Maybe it's that she married David Bowie. I don't know how that's a scandal. Then we got Phil Spector, whose only scandal is that he's a crazy murderer with wacky hair. And Phil Spector, for those that don't know, he's that producer that was on a power trip. He had some B-movie actress over at his house, somehow had convinced her to put a gun in her mouth, and then he blew her head off. Now, it sounds like this guy's a murderer. He needs to go to jail. It's not a big scandal. And then, of course, Charlie Sheen and his antics. Charlie Sheen is not, again, powerful men with a bunch of women. I can't believe it. These are the scandals that rocked America. Give me a break. We're going to your calls after this. It's the Info Warrior. We're going to jet to your phone calls in just a moment, but this one's out of the New York Times on Christmas. We've been talking about this death care bill that got passed. Catholic stance may help abortion aid plan. Hospital Association stance could provide political cover for Democrats. Most of the Catholics and Catholic bishops out there have basically stated, no, we're against this health care bill because it pays for abortions. However, all of the Catholic hospitals in this nation have signaled that they back the Senate's compromise on the issue, raising hopes of breaking an impasse in Congress and stirring controversy with the church. Now, I wonder how they get the consensus of all Catholic hospitals saying that they're supporting this bill. Obviously, this is a large piece of propaganda to sway those who are religious into thinking, don't worry, everything's okay. See, these Catholic hospitals say it's all right to have abortions. And in essence, really, the tops of the Catholic Church could care less because they're just as corrupt as anybody else. Hey-oh! All right, let's continue with the callers. Let's go to Eric in Pennsylvania. Eric, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, Jason. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yes, Merry Christmas, brother.
All right, I want to tell my story, my top story for 2009. But first, I called in Alex Jones on Monday, and I told him about something, and I think I freaked him out a little bit. But, I told you I work in a restaurant, and, let me just back up. I want to give you a little background. When I was like 16, my grandmother was a nurse. She got me very into nutrition. That was like one of the ways I really became a good researcher because I wanted to know more about it. Mm-hmm. I always was like real interested. I always was into research. That really advanced me, right? So now, fast forward, I'm working in a restaurant. Now, I clean the fryer. And on the container, which is a 5-gallon container, which is what fryer oil comes in, I'm reading the ingredients. Mm-hmm. And there's this one on there called polydimethylsiloxane.
Okay. And
it's an anti-foaming agent. And I look it up, and it's silicone. Like the same stuff that girls get their booby implants with, that is a cancer, that now they have to get saline implants. Yes. So they're putting that in the food. They're putting that in the fryer oil. And
it's unbelievable. So look, they're cutting the high fructose corn syrup out there, which is already poison, folks. It is not good for you, even though there's this huge campaign, especially this year, to tell you how great high fructose corn syrup is for you and how you're being paranoid and a bad mother if you think otherwise. They're cutting it with mercury. Look it up yourself. It's in the Washington Times. Mercury in the high fructose corn syrup. They want to put lithium in the water. There is silicone in your food. Go ahead, Eric.
So anyway, so you use the fryer, it spills on the thing. Well, there's a difference. When we just use pure vegetable oil, which is, if you should go to your favorite restaurant and tell them, look at the ingredients and make sure it's pure vegetable oil. If we use that, there's not a problem. But when we use this stuff and it spills on it, it turns into plastic, like literal plastic. And guess what? It gets worse. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's bad enough they're putting the fryer oil. They're also putting it in your Coca-Cola syrup. It says it on the ingredients. Just read it up. Polydimethylsiloxane. Okay? Or you can Google it, anti-foaming agent. All right?
It all sounds extremely delicious. So, Eric, what do you got for me? What is the story of the year, my friend?
All right. Well, it's obviously not nearly as interesting as Jesse Ventura going around terrorizing the establishment with his new show, Conspiracy Theory. But to me, I think this is probably the biggest story. You back up to January 15th, $815 an ounce gold. You fast forward, December 3rd, 2009, $1,218 an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
From November, we have $1,030 an ounce to December, $1,218. That's a $200 increase in 1 month. In the decline of the dollar, that is, in my opinion, the top story of 2009.
That's a good one. And, that's not one that we covered today. We're talking about the top stories of 2009, and it's really the death of the dollar and just the resurgence of gold. Gold has always maintained its value, but, he just talked, and I thank you for the call, Eric, that back in 2008,